بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Unfortunately, both atheists and Christians fail to distinguish correctly between mathematical truths and scientific truths. Okay, I should say mathematical truths or rational truths, which is more inclusive, and empirical truths, empirical or scientific truths. Atheists tend to mistakenly believe that empirical laws of physics and chemistry are true in all time and space and can never change. In other words, they uh, and can never be, I should be, let me put it this way, and can never be violated. Because some do believe they could change for reasons they cannot explain, but they don't believe they can be violated. They don't believe in miracles. That's a reasonable assumption, but it's still an assumption, right? Yeah, I mean, normally speaking, I expect the universe, the laws of physics and chemistry to be there when I wake up in the morning, when I walk and go do everything I need to do. It's fine. It's a reasonable assumption, but it's still an assumption. There's no way to absolutely prove it. They don't prove it. They can't. If you ask them, they can't. For example, we expect the sun to rise in the east tomorrow morning. That's a good assumption. And I hope the sun rises in the east tomorrow, because if the sun rises in the west, according to Quran, that's the beginning of that's the day of that's day of judgment, right? But there's no law that states that it must happen no matter what. There's nothing in physics that says the sun must rise in the east tomorrow. Rising of the sun is dependent on many factors. It's predicted to occur every day, but it's not guaranteed like 1 plus 1 equal to 2. Atheists assume that empirical laws cannot be violated no matter what. In other words, they view empirical laws just as good as rational laws. That's their biggest mistake, and that's why they don't believe in miracles. And they even become arrogant and make fun of and laugh at people who believe in miracles. Oh, you believe in miracles? Ha ha ha! You're stupid. You don't know how. You don't know science. Well, the joke is on you. Miracle belief in miracles is perfectly rational. As a result of this mistake, they refuse to believe in miracles and make fun, mock, right? Christians, on the other hand, are the other extreme. They believe that God is not subjected to rational laws. They believe 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 1. Like Trinity is so irrational, so absurd. It's honestly, Trinity is a very stupid concept. But they say, well, that doesn't apply to God. Logic doesn't apply to God. They believe that God became man, God had a son who's also God. And this is completely ridiculous. God getting married, God having son, God walking around, eating, drinking. This is extremely irrational and ridiculous and very stupid, to be honest. And I don't mean any disrespect to anybody, but these beliefs are very, very like childish. Even children, when they grow up, they grow out of it. It's like believing in Santa Claus, fairy tales, just fairy tales. So Islamic view, rational truths are always true. God does not violate these truths. Empirical truths are usually true, but God can suspend the empirical laws if he wishes. Christian view is usually true, but God can suspend rational truths. So this is where they're wrong. They're right here. Christians are right when they say that empirical truths or empirical laws can be violated. So they're wrong here, right here. Atheists are right here, always true, no one can violate them. True, very true. I agree, because it agrees with Islamic position. But they're wrong here in the sense that, uh, you know, cannot be violated. No one can suspend the empirical laws. Islam is the best and the most balanced approach, and it respects the intellect, it respects logic and rationality, but it also places limits on the empirical. And finally, if you wish to really see anomalies of empirical laws, if you want to see physics, laws of physics being broken in front of your eyes, there are many places in the world. One of the places that I went to is in Santa Cruz. It's called the Mystery Spot. It's Mystery Spot in Santa Cruz, California. If you ever go to California, please visit this place. Your iman will increase, especially after learning the differences between rational and empirical. you will say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. I went there several times, took my children there. I loved it. Of course, the scientists will try to justify it by saying, oh, well, it's just an illusion, but it's not an illusion. When you go to Mystery Spot in Santa Cruz, California, um, somebody who's taller than you appears smaller than you when you're standing next to each other. And I experienced it. I saw this with my own eyes. And you can go to YouTube right now. You can check out many YouTube videos. Just enter this Mystery Spot, Santa Cruz, California. Enter that in the YouTube search, and you'll see many videos of where interesting things are happening. Gravity doesn't seem to work. They show you go there. There's a plank like this, and there's a ball at the top of the plank. If you let the ball go, the ball should roll down, right? What happens is you put the ball at the bottom, the ball starts to roll up against gravity. That's what it looks like. They say it's just an illusion, but still, it's a violation of the empirical norm. There are places in the world where you have these anomalies. Allah has put these places. It seems to me, I think, Allahu Alam, Allah has put all these anomalies throughout the world to give us a wake-up call, to help us realize, wait a minute, empirical laws can be violated. There's something going on here. Pay attention, think, look at the universe. There must be a creator who is all powerful, all knowing. There are places where gravity doesn't work. And there are many such places in the world. But Santa Cruz, California is definitely one of them. If you can't go there, definitely check it out on YouTube. And that's it. There's a summary at the next on the next page. You can read it on your own. And then we have some check your understanding questions. I would like you to go through these questions, answer these questions, and then review all the lessons since the last quiz. Take quiz 2 of unit 2, which is the quiz focusing on miracles. Review the entire unit, which is unit 2. We're in unit 2, and the next unit is unit 3, of course. And then take the final test for unit 2, which is required to pass this class and get credit for this course. You must achieve at least 80% to pass. If you don't do well, you can take it again. والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.